All right, welcome back. Today we are going to do the day 2 and day 3 notes combined for logarithmic equations. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, logs or logarithms are just another way to write exponents or exponential equations. So when you see this here, y equals log a of x, exponentially that would be written as x equals a to the y. Or we read this as y equals log base a of x. So it's the number we're multiplying by. So 4 equals log base 2 of 16. That's how we would read that exponentially. As an exponent, 16 equals 2 to the 4th. Same thing here, 9 equals 3 squared. So this is just another way to write an exponent, no differently than when you print your name or write your name in cursive, or type your name on a paper or sign a check. You get all those different ways to represent your name. It's all the same thing. So again, a log is just another way, another format to write an exponent. All right, most common log we use is called base 10 or the common log. Base 10s are counting systems. You know, 10 ones is 10, 10 tens is 100, 10 100s is 1,000, and so forth. We also use natural log or log base E. E is represented by Euler's constant. That's this number here, 2.718. We'll go into later how we actually come up with that 2.718 number, but if we base E, we're basically counting by this number. So 2.718 to the first, 2.718 to the second, so forth. Behaves the same way that 10 to the 10 to a power would. So all exponentials will graph and look the same. And then here we can change the base to anything we want. So in computer language, I use binary or base 2. So you would see a 2 here. We can do log base 3. So basically 3 to what power is 100. The answer to that would be 4.192. Again, we'll get into how we do these later with change of base formula. But we can find any number with logs, any number to any power. All right, logarithmic to exponential. Basically, we're just transforming them back. So here's our logarithmic equation. Switch it back to exponential. So 5 to the x equals 125. And then we can solve this by getting the same base. So 125 is 5 to the third. We'll see the one-to-one property here in a few moments. But basically, if the bases are the same, the exponents have to be. So x has to be 3. Same idea right here. I'm going to pause for a second because that should be a 2 right there. All right, sorry about that. So 2 to the x is 16. 16 is 2 to the 4th, so x is 4. And then this last one, 3 to the 4th is equal to x, so 3 to the 4th is just 81. So again, we can change an exponential to a logarithmic or logarithmic to exponential and go back and forth. And that's what you're seeing here. So this is a common log. Usually the 10 is not written here. Usually just say log of 10,000, but I put the 10 there for note purposes. But if you ever see a log and there's no number written right there, you can assume that it's base 10. So 10 to the x is 10,000. X to the 29th power is 53. And 6 to the 13th equals x. Once we get numbers larger than 3, 4, 5, and we start getting into powers here, we typically don't write that number out because 6 to the 13th is going to be a gigantic number in scientific notation. So we'll just leave it as 6 to the 13th. We'll learn how to solve this, but for right now, we're not going to mess with that. All right, so one-to-one property, kind of hinted at this before. So if the bases are the same, the exponents have to be. So what happens is you're typically changing one side. So 3, we're not going to mess with that, but 81 I can write as a base of 3. That's 3 to the 4th. And now that these bases are the same, the exponents have to be, so 2x equals 4, and thus x equals 2. 64 I can write as 4 to the third. So now again, the bases are the same, 5x equals 3, and we can divide to get 3/5. And the last one here, I can't write 64 as a power of 16. I can, but I get a fraction. But both of these are powers of 4. So 16 is 4 squared. 64 is 4 to the third. We did the power property the other day with exponents, so we multiply these here. 4 to the 4x equals 4 to the third. So 4x is 3, and thus x is 3/4. So again, the whole idea of the one-to-one property when you solve these is to get the same base on either side, and then the exponents are equal. All right, so that's how we're going to solve our logarithmic equations. Now you can see we're going to change this back to an exponential. And now this is just like the previous slide. We're going to change 243 to a power of 3. That's 3 to the 5th. So then x has to be 5. This one here is a little more in depth. So we have the square root of 2 to the x power. And what we are going to do with that, that's going to equal 16. And this is really, the square root of 2 is 2 to the 1/2. So I really have 2 to the 1/2 x if I change that to a rational exponent. And 16 is 2 to the 4th. And so with that being said, 1/2 x is 4, and therefore x has to be 8. So again, we just change the square root to the 1/2 power, and then we can multiply right there. That's where the 1/2 x came into play. And 16 is 2 to the 4th. Set the exponents equal and solve. All right, again, we're just going back and forth here from exponential to logarithmic. So this is base 6, log base 6 of 807 equals the exponent. Log n of 62 equals 13. Log base h of 17 equals the exponent of 7. Log 3 of g equals 9. So again, you're just converting from one form back to the other. All right, a couple properties of logarithms, and these are very similar to your properties of exponents from day one. If you take the log of a product, you can actually separate that into two separate logs, a sum of two logs. And so this really becomes the log base 2 of 32 and the log base 2 of x. This we can simplify because 2 to the 5th is 32, so this first piece actually equals 5, and we can't do anything here since we have the variable. Log of 800, I could do 2 times 400, I could do 4 times 200, you could do 5 times, whatever, 160. So you can pretty much take any product here. I just did 8 and 100, and I did 100 on purpose since this is a common log. So log 8 plus log of 100. This is really base 10, so 10 to what power is 100? Well, 10 squared, so log 8 plus 2. When you divide or have a fraction, a log of a fraction, then we subtract. So this becomes log of x minus log of y. Obviously, a is going to be our power here. So as you see right here, this is log 2 of 64 minus log 2 of y. Again, I can simplify this. 2 to the 6th is 64. So this becomes 6 minus log base 2 of y. So again, you take the log of the numerator minus the log of the denominator. If you have a log with an exponent, you can move that out front. So I'm going to take this 5 and put that out in front of the log. And so I have 5 log base 2 of 32. And this right here, 2 to the 5th is 32. So this simplifies to 5. And so we have 5 times 5, or 25. So again, when you have an exponent with a logarithmic function, you can move that out front like we did here. All right, a couple more general formats. Any number to the first power equals itself. So if you take the log of a number and the base here is the same as this number, that equals 1. You're basically saying a to what power is a to the first is a. If you did log 7 of 7, 7 to what power is 7? 7 to the first. Log of 41 of 41, well, 41 to the first is 41. So if this number here matches the base of your log, they cancel out, equals 1. Similarly, if we stretch this out here, now we got an exponent. So again, you see log a of a, we know that's 1, so this is really just 1 times whatever the exponent is. So here you see log 13 of 13, that's 1. 1 times 7 is 7. Same idea here, 1 times 8 is 8. And if you have a negative exponent, that's okay. 1 times negative 3 will get us negative 3. If the exponent was put out front, you could do that because that was what our previous page and property said. You put the exponent out front, so then it looks like this. That's fine. Then again, you're just left with the exponent. So this would equal 6. All right, a couple more. If you raise a base to the log of that same number here, then that cancels out. So you see 7 to the log 7 power, that cancels out, and you're just left with 21. 8 to the log 8 power, that's 41. Natural log e is equal to 1. So if you flip that around, if you do e to the natural log of a number, then this becomes your answer. So if it was e to the natural log of 8, it equals 8. If it was e to the natural log of 100, it equals 100. And in this case, we know natural log e is 1. Now we have an exponent, so we put that out front. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, change of base. We actually did this earlier when we had that 3 to what power is 100. So you can take any log here, and if you know these two numbers, you take the log of x over the log of a. Or you can do natural log too, but typically we just use the common log. So for example, 2 to what power is 71? Well, we just take the log of 71, divide by the log of 2, and there's our answer. 3 to what power is 415? Well, log of 415 over the log of 3, and here's our answer. And again, you can put equals. I put approximation because we're rounding to 3 decimal places. Technically, this number would be a big, long decimal, but this will get us in the ballpark, which is all we're after. All right, rational exponents. Anytime you have a fraction here, which is a rational exponent, if you want to just make that x or y or whatever variable you're dealing with, just multiply by the reciprocal power to both sides. So the reciprocal of 1/6 is 6. So I raise both sides to the 6th power. That gives me x here, 3 to the 12th there. Similarly, here I got x to the 6th, so I'll go to the reciprocal, the 1/6 power. That gives me x to the 1st. 18 to the 1/6 power is 3, 3 to the 3rd, 27. So again, anytime you have a rational exponent, you need to solve, simplify, multiply by the reciprocal. All right, a couple more examples of the 1-to-1 property. Both of these can be written as base 3, so 3 to the 5th. This is 1 over 3 to the 4th, or 3 to the negative 4x. And then we can solve for x. I cannot write 32 as a power 8, but they're both powers of 2. So 2 to the 3rd to the negative x, 2 to the 5th to the 5x. So we multiply. And so negative 3x is equal to 25x. And as we solve, we get x equal to 0. Same idea here. I can write these as 25 to the negative 1 or 25 to the negative x, 25 squared. So x is negative 2. And here, the last one, we've got a rational exponent. So we'll raise that to the 3/5 power. This is x to the 5/3. Raise both sides to the 3/5, and we get our decimal. All right, 17. This one's a little harder here. You may want to pause, but as you go back through, first thing I'm going to do is take the reciprocal here. So this is 16 over 81 to the negative 1st. 16 over 81, that's 2 to the 4th and 3 to the 4th, so right there. So I really have 2/3 to the 2x and 2/3 to the negative 4. So again, I had to take the reciprocal here, which is the negative 1st power, and this was 2 and 3 to the 4th. And then I can solve for x, which is negative 2. All right, again, another rational one, so we take the reciprocal power, so 0.20 to the 3/4 gives me my decimal answer. And we got one more slide here, and then we're done for today. I appreciate your patience. I know this is a long one. 1-to-1 property also works with logs. You see these logs are the same base. If that happens, then these numbers have to be equal. So 3x equals 36, divide by 3, and x is 12. So again, I appreciate you hanging with me through that. This is probably our longest note session of the semester, but now you're ready for day 2 and day 3 with logarithms. All right, thanks a lot.